Welcome back to another Hobby Odyssey Fitness Roundup. So this Wednesday, the 13th of November 2024, it was another strength circuit session that we went through today. So first of all, big call out and big shout out to Lukes Fitness Bootcamp because they just keep delivering every week. Great sessions, great exercises, and great community. And a big call out to Luke himself, who just did some insane 24-hour running thing where they were doing constant laps around some oval, and he ended up doing like 100 miles. I can't even imagine it. I get tired if I run around the block, let alone that fast. So massive kudos. What a legend. Keep it up. So anyway, our strength session today was divided up into two groups. So two groups of, I think, 5 exercises each. And those exercises you expect to go through, do 3 sets of those in a loop. So 8 to 10 reps of most of them. Go on to the next exercise, loop around 3 times. And then you moved over to group 2. Let's consider my group 1, because I'm feeling like I deserve it today. It was an intense session. So the first exercise in it was a weighted sleigh based exercise. So those of you who haven't dealt with weighted sleighs, they are kind of funky. Kind of funky indeed. So let's see if I can just pull something up on my side, and we'll see if I have a good example of one. What's this? Gym weigh sleds. That's a good enough example. Let's see if I can share this. Boom. Nope. There we go. Should see it popping up now. So, as you can see, they come in a bit of a variety, but overall they're pretty simple. So, I think the one that we use is similar to the third one. Oh, what is this? No, don't want to be part of the mailing list. So, this one just here, as you can see with my cursor, spinning. That's similar to the one that we use at the gym. So, for this exercise, considering that thing, that is what we used, and we piled up the weights to the top of that one, to be honest. So 3 different sled stations for different levels. I went for the heaviest one because why not? Push yourself or go home. It was pretty hard, to be honest. So first of all, there was a rope attached to the front of the sled. You were supposed to brace yourself, and then it was reaching out and pulling on this rope. Pulling toward yourself. Then once it got up to your feet, you were supposed to push it back into position, reset, and do it a second time. So that, in that group of exercises, was the only one that you did twice instead of the set of 8. Twice was enough. It was enough. It was intense. And then because you're backing it right up with other exercises in the circuit, far out. It was a big one. Moving on from that, we then transferred to what do you even call it? It's sort of like a tricep push-up. So consider you do a push-up from your knees, but one of your arms is on a slider. Is there a good example of the sliders too? Exercise sliders? That sounds, yep. Okay, core sliders they call them, apparently. Core sliders. Let's see if there's a good representation of them. Not really. So this is one example of them. It's nothing fancy. One side is slippery, so it goes along the ground. The other side is grippy, so that you can get a good grip and use them. I've seen some pretty cool exercises with these, actually, where you basically set yourself up in a push-up stance, and then you just start pushing with your feet. So you have to activate your core, have to activate your arms, your shoulders and everything, and it looks painful. Yet to do it, but I'll get around to it at some stage. So anyway, that's the sliders for you. The sliders we use for as I said, we set it up with one arm on a slider. So you push that one arm out slowly and straighten it as the other arm was kept, and the elbow was kept close to your body and was doing pretty much a tricep push up at that stage. So out like that, and then push up and come together, down again, and the slower you do it, the better, because it kills you. Anyway, that was exercise 2. Pretty tough. I'm starting to feel it down here. Exercise 3 was a inverted row. It's not a complicated one. So you have a couple of the rings up on some monkey bars or something, and then you just lean back on them, stick your feet in front of the rings, and then you do a row from that point. So grab the rings, lean back into it, pull them up to your chest, or that way. I was doing it this way, and get the set out. Obviously, you can amplify the intensity of it by shifting your legs further forward or lifting them up on something elevated in front of you. I didn't go there. I have them out in front, so it's a proper like inversion like that for me. But I've done it before where you go all the way flat and then lift your legs up. I wasn't feeling it today. Not today. Exercise 4. No. Oh, I may have actually missed one. Yeah, it may have been 6 exercises. So after the inverted one, we did one called Dead Bug. So I don't know if this is a standard exercise, well known. I don't know. Dead Bug is... Oh, let's see if I can find a good example of this, to be honest. Oh, there is an example. Okay, let's share this again. So, as you can see in this picture here, no, not quite that one. Might be all right. Can we play a video? Let's just quickly.
For this exercise, you will be lying on your back. Bring your arms straight above your head, perpendicular to the ground, along with your knees and hips both at 90-degree angles. Start by lowering the ground and then returning to your starting position.
As you can see,
throughout the movement, maintain position of the opposite arm and leg. Keep your core tight throughout the motion, and when you return to the starting position, you may relax for a moment before tightening again.
The arm movements, I don't know if they just amplify the core.
To make this a bit easier, you can also perform this exercise with the arms only, keeping the legs in the air with a 90-degree angle at the knees and
bug is. We did something similar, legs straight up in the air, no bend, and you had they have like a triangle weight with like 3 handles on it. So you hold that in front of you up above while your legs are straight up as well, and then you lower down one leg, bring it back up as you're lowering that weight down behind your head with like straight arms. So yeah, it can get pretty intense. Your back, if you don't do it right as well, your lower back can start feeling a bit strained. You just need to make sure that when your legs are up, if they're like point down like that, as you're lowering them, you'll find that it'll strain your lower back more. So bring it back up, it'll help with that like curve of your back flattening on the ground, and it helps with the overall workout. At least for me. I'm no professional, but that's what I've been told. Moving on from that, it was a weights bench based exercise, but we were not doing anything on the weights bench. So let's think about it. Maybe I was right. Maybe it is 5 exercises. Yeah. So this was the last one of the set. Basically those triangle weights again. We had one of them, and you do a big step up onto the weights bench. So step up, and then as you step up, you hit your knee up in the air, and then back down. But in like collaboration, coordinating with that, you had this triangle weight above your head, and then you pulled it down to the side where your legs come up. I don't know why. Damn camera just stopped working mid like monologue, but oh well, what can you do? So that was round 1. So maybe it wasn't a terrible spot to cut off. Round 1 finished up with that. The weights bench one. Thrust your knee up and then back down, and then again rotate through those exercises again until you're done with the set of 3 rounds. Moving on to the... Seriously, this setup of mine. Okay, let's see if this will stay working for the roundup for the rest of the group 2. Who knows? Always a mystery. Okay, so group 2. The exercises were not as aerobic or cardio based as the other one seemed to be. Although, to be honest, it just felt that way, I think. I don't think it actually was cardio based. Anyway, we started off with deadlifts. So deadlifts, I think everyone should already be aware of what they are. You know, just barbell, bend over, lift up to your knees or whatever. Make sure your posture is good. Bang it back down. So again, I go for heavy weights on that one. I'm able to do them. Just make sure you're safe though, because I have tweaked my back a couple of times, especially when you're doing the heavy weights and you try to slowly drop it down. If you're doing the heavy ones, don't be afraid to drop the weight if it's one of those big weighted plates like that have like the rubber and stuff on them. They're designed to be dropped and bounced up and whatever. So hopefully I'm not going through and damaging the floor at all, but who knows. Anyway, big heavy deadlifts, feeling great. Going to the next one where we're doing a kneeling based shoulder press. So you kneel on a mat, and then because you can't bounce with your legs or anything to get momentum, you're just doing all straight through the shoulder and back down. Oh, I can even feel it there. That's yeah. Today was pretty sore. So I didn't get up to too heavy on that one. I doubted myself quite a bit, so I only got up to about 17 kilos or so. But still, good workout, good consistency, liked it. And then you did 8 to 10 per arm. Next up was an interesting one based on the ground. So we had a mat, and we have these, I don't know what you call them. They're little raised things that you use for hip thrust type exercises. So when you're on the ground, you have your shoulder blades on top of it, and you push and you have something to leave your body up on. So again, hard to demo it, but basically think of hip thrusts, except we had a single dumbbell on one of our hips, and we were doing single leg hip thrusts. So pretty good. The other leg was straight out. Bashed those out, feeling fairly strong. I think I only did 20 kilos per leg on that. Could have done more, but by that stage, round 2, that second group, I was exhausted. I left it all in group 1. It was a struggle. Next up was a cable machine based exercise. So get on all fours, grab the cable machine, and then the opposite leg to the arm you're holding this with, you basically push it out straight behind you, and then as you pull this in, you pull that up into like a knee. You pull your knee up underneath your stomach kind of thing, and then as you release it, you push your leg straight back out behind you as well. That leg never touched the ground. So like that, hand on the ground, thing here, pull it in, bring your leg up into a kneeing action, power knee, and keep doing that until you have to switch over for the other leg. Next up was just a simple barbell-based bicep curl. So I was feeling confident with this. I've been feeling fairly strong recently anyway. And rock up onto this one, I was like, yeah, you know what? That one over there, the big barbell. So I think the big barbell's like 10, 15 kilos by itself with like 5 kilo plates on either side. So what? Oh my God. Math, right? Stupid math. It's about 20, 25 kilos. Nothing groundbreaking. To be honest, I think I can do single arm dumbbell ones that are about 20 kilos or more. So tried to stick this, double armed one, keep your elbows in, bring it up slowly, and then release it back down. Struggled. Yeah, it was a massive struggle for me. And that was my max weight for that one. Bizarre. I felt so weak and disorderly after that. Weird. But yeah, went through those, managed to smash out the rest of the sets, and then go into my standard stretching routine. So I'm trying to get in there again, like a bar hang for a bit, see if that helps stretch out my body and ligaments and whatever else, see if everything just like stretches out and gets into order. Outside of that, I just do, I think it's like Vinyama or something. Let me look this up again. Gotta find some details. Vinyama. Let's see what I can find. Yeah, I think it's about what I do, except I haven't been doing that one. Okay, there's a place, Yoga International. Let's see what they'll have for me. Do they have some nice pictures? Wow, yeah, it's one of those ones that goes into like the full history of the yoga and the move and all that sort of jazz. And no pictures. How could they not have any pictures? Seriously. All right, ignore that. There's some good videos out there. You know what? Here's a vinyasa flow. That sounds likely. Let me pull this one up, and we'll see. We'll see if I can share that.
I want to make the best shampoo and conditioner on the planet. Like, no holes barred. What can we do?
I'm pretty sure my kids would just abuse it all day, every day. All right, let's see if this will come up. Here we go. All right.
Honor Yoga Princeton. Today I'm going to break down vinyasa for every single pose that we're going to cover.
Dog.
So you
Don't
can
know
tell
if
it's
anyone
really
knows
important.
that one.
It's our foundation.
Pretty standard one.
On
Although I've heard
here.
from a
so
yoga
wrist crease parallel to the front of the mat. All
the way
fingers
that she's
spread,
doing it now,
and for some the index finger will face
you want to try
front
to
of the
push
mat, or for others the middle finger. That really depends on the anatomy of your own hand. But the most important thing you'll be able to figure it out from having your wrist crease parallel. The arms are straight and the shoulders wrap back and around. So that's like an external rotation of the shoulders. What you can do is have the feet for sure hip distance apart, and even take a bend in the knees. So watch once Katie bends her knees a little bit, her low spine draws in and up. So the bones lift up towards the ceiling and align straight back towards.
Here we go.
And then the backs of the legs will start to release. The feet, they can be together, but we're going to practice it hip distance apart to create a lot of strength in the body. So feet hip distance apart and the heels stack right over the toe mounds. And it's okay to shift your feet around to get that. Chaturanga, the most important thing is that the arms are at a 90-degree angle. And many people cannot make that shape with their knees off of the ground. And that's why we have knees off the ground for a moment. Again, hands are the same. Good.
Yep.
So nice 90-degree angle in the arms, long spine, heels still stack over. The thighs, you'll notice for Cobra Pose are on the mat, and that means the elbows are bent and the elbows are pointing towards the back of the mat rather than out to the side.
So I can stretch it that way.
Katie, I see a lot of that.
And it feels good sometimes, but I need to find a way to stretch it the other way.
What we want to do. So draw those elbows to point back. That'll automatically roll the shoulders forward and back. Sternum shoots forward, and then the base of the skull presses straight back rather than can you look up.
Maybe I'm wrong, but there's a whole flow that I do that I find really good, which is part of that one. I never go into like warrior mode or warrior pose, which maybe I should. Maybe that'd loosen up some other areas. I'll consider it. It's been a little while since I've done the full vinyasa flow, so maybe I'm just forgetting bits. But I do that one where you're in the plank mode, and then you rock, and then as you rock, you take a massive big step forward and then kind of stand up, and that's when you would normally do warrior pose as well, but I do it as a big hip stretch, and then stop that one, step back, do the other leg, go into a big deep hip stretch again, bring it back, and then I tend to bring my legs down and do the cat pose. So the cat one is where you're on all fours and you just arch your back, and then you do the opposite where you bring your back down as well. So, consider this is my back when I'm on all fours, bring it, like kind of flex it like that in the middle, and then flex it up like that. I'm hoping that it'll help compress and decompress my back, but I'm waking up every day at the moment with a sore back, and I have to like move it around, stretch it up, warm it up. Old age, hey? Old age. Anyway, that's the recount. 2 groups, 3 laps of each group, smashing out like 8 to 10 reps per exercise, with the odd exception like the weighted sleigh, and then going into the second group, smashing that out, and then coming away exhausted. So it's always a good exhaustion. You feel a sense of accomplishment, right? You've done something. It's healthy, great. You'll know there's results coming from it. It's really hard sometimes when you don't know the results and you just have no energy to like gear up. I like the sessions where you come out of it with like high energy and you're just rearing to go and do other stuff, but not today. Not today. Everyone has those days though, right? Everyone. Anyway, that's the recap, the roundup. Apologies again for my camera being a bit of a turd and just going offline occasionally, but what can you do? What can you do? I'm not a professional. I don't have a professional setup. Cheap ass mic here. I've got just some secondhand recycled camera that I'm using. But it's doing the job for now. And, you know, one day when I go pro, I'll get myself a green screen so you don't have to see this mess behind me all the time. Or maybe I'll clean up the mess. I don't know. Let's keep that in our back pocket. But one day, the green screen, it'll hide the mess behind me and I'll be able to project something cool up. Maybe like soothing animated backgrounds or something. Who knows? The possibilities are endless. Anyway, that's me for another Wednesday after the strength roundup. So look for me again after actually, tomorrow, as I said in the last video, is the next session. Oh, what's it called again? What did I call it? No, don't Mombasa. No, Mombasa. This is your land, Simba. What is it? What is coming up tomorrow? Tabata. Wasn't even close. I might see how I get out and get Tabata going and just try to avoid some of the running because my heels are still ridiculous at the moment. One session running in barefoot shoes and they're just wrecked for like 2 weeks so far. So I might try to get to Tabata tomorrow, see how I go. They are supposed to be high intensity interval ones as well. I'll try to bring an update, or if I don't get an update on the day, I'll mix it in with my typical Friday update, which is normally heavy and fast. And the heavy and fast sessions are the ones that kill me. They destroy me, leaving me just empty. So, you know, backing it up on top of a high intensity session the day before, who knows how I'm going to cope, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you again for listening to my little rants and my little roundup and diary of my exercise exploits. I'll be trying to do another product type based one soon about an awesome one that I found for my daughter actually. So for those parents out there who don't like night lights because they are so bright sometimes and annoying, found a good alternative. Like and subscribe even if you do like listening. Even though I mumble a lot and I can barely understand myself sometimes, if you enjoyed the content, come back, have a listen, do a comment. It's all fun. Speak soon, love yourself, better yourself, and go lift some heavy things.
Waking up early, gotta lace those shoes tight.
Welcome back to another
for the fight face in the mirror, seeing shadows of the past. But today I'm stronger, I'm rising up at last. With every heartbeat, I feel the fire ignite. Chasing my dreams, I'm reaching for new heights. My family's here and I can see the